Hi, welcome to today's Yin practice. For today, you are going to want a blanket and then a bolster or a pillow from your bed works just fine. Of course, Teton is optional. We'll see how long he lasts. Comfortable clothes, get your music rolling. We're gonna start in a reclined position. So making your way towards your back body. I have my blanket set up so it rests under my head, just for a little extra comfort. And then starting here in a broken bridge position, can allow knees to knock together. Hands can rest on belly or maybe down by your hips. Giving yourself some time here to settle in. It might be helpful to count the length of your inhales and exhales. It's a really centering way to kind of fall into practice. Maybe inhaling for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 5 or 6. And then lengthening as it feels good to you. Allowing the body and mind to settle into stillness. Bringing some awareness back to your body, back to your breath. Then gently hugging both knees into your chest for just a moment. Wrapping your arms here, a little gentle pressure, pulling knees towards your chest. Then planting soles of the feet on the mat once more. Come to reclined shoelace. So first, right leg reaches towards the sky. Then bending that right knee, rest it over. So rest your ankle over the right left knee. My goodness. Then sliding your legs together for a reclined shoelace. So right leg on top, hands can grasp maybe outside of the opposite calf or ankle, or all the way down at the edges of the feet. Whatever feels best. Of course, if this hip opener is too intense or just doesn't feel good today, coming back to that reclined figure 4 is a beautiful option. Giving yourself time to settle into your shape. Giving yourself about 3 more rounds of breath in this shape on this side of your body. And moving nice and slow, gently unwinding your legs, both soles of the feet to the mat. Can windshield wiper here, just drop knees side to side. And then prepare for the other side. Left leg reaches to the sky, bending that knee, left ankle rests over right knee. Checking in here, figure 4. Option to stay right here. Or sliding the knees to stack on top of each other. Finding your hands resting at either the opposite calf or ankle or edges of the feet. Checking back in with your body, back in with your breath. Begin to slowly and gently unwind your position. Soles of the feet back to the mat. Again, maybe windshield wipers falling side to side. Reminding yourself you have permission to move nice and slow here. You can make your way to a seated position. We'll come into a butterfly shape. And for this, I take my blanket that's folded in a rectangle and I lengthen it so it's a bit longer. And then I roll it into a nice burrito, sliding that under my knees here. So my soles of the feet pressed together, knees resting here. I can tuck up the blanket if I need just a little bit more cushion. You're also welcome to use the bolster here, but sometimes that's a little bit too much cushion for me and I don't feel like I have enough space for my legs. So again, just playing around with your props, giving yourself time here to settle in, and then allowing your body to hinge forward, head hang heavy, once you've found a shape that feels good for you. Give yourself 3 more rounds of breath in this shape. When you're ready, gently lifting your heart here. Remove any props you might have under your legs. Maybe place the hands behind your hips, windshield wiper here, side to side. And then we'll make our way towards our belly for Sphinx. I like to bring the bolster along with me. So finding what feels good for you. Some people prefer that blanket under your hips, just feels a little supportive so your hips aren't digging into the mat. And then bringing that bolster right under your rib cage, shoulders over your elbows. If the bolster or the pillow doesn't feel good, just get rid of it. One of our more active shapes for Yin, pulling the heart forward. If this is too intense, you're welcome to stack your fists here, resting your forehead. You can also use the bolster to rest your forehead. That can be a beautiful back bend. It's finding what feels good for you. Knowing you always have permission to come out earlier than I prompt it. Checking back in with your body here. You can gently remove that bolster, lowering your forehead to rest there. You might allow the heels to fall side to side, just releasing that low back. Then we'll press back towards a child's pose. Now again, taking time in Yin to set up some props. Can feel good to use the blanket here either under your knees for a little cushion. Some people roll it like a burrito, so I just rolled it or folded it back in half. Roll it like a burrito and I set it between my heels and my hips. Then if you'd like to use the bolster, placing it lengthwise in front of you, allowing your arms to fall on either side. You can rest the left cheek, either one. Here first. I'll let you know if you take that option when it's time to twist so your other cheek is resting on the mat. Just allowing yourself to settle in. If you have one cheek resting on the mat, using this time to slowly turn to the other side. Next round of breath, gently pressing yourself up here. Removing any of those props. Then as we prepare for half frog, you'll want your blanket back in its little square, small rectangle shape. First, we'll put it on the right side of the mat, about midway along the mat, and then lowering down to your belly. First, you can stack your hands, rest your forehead here, bringing your right knee out on the mat. So that right leg's at a 90-degree angle. Option to stay right here with your forehead resting on the palms. Or if it feels good, you can bring your right cheek to the mat. Some bodies, it even feels good in your shoulders to rest your hands down by your hips. So just finding what feels best for you. Giving yourself time to adjust. and then settling in. Starting to deepen your breath here. Then extending that right leg long behind you. Can bend both knees, heels fall side to side. Then allowing yourself to move slowly. Just bringing that blanket to the other side of your mat. Setting up for half frog on this side. Palms can rest right at the top of the mat. Left knee rests on that blanket, 90-degree angle. Forehead can rest on your hands or turning so your left cheek rests on the mat. Adjust as you need to. Give yourself time here. Then settle into the shape on this side. Noticing that rise and fall of your breath. You can extend left leg long once more. Maybe rocking heels side to side. Before gently pressing yourself back for a child's pose. This time though, trying a narrow child's pose, so knees closer together. Then arms can start reaching forward, but then maybe bring them back by your heels. Notice how that feels, a release in the shoulders. Here you can also bring either the blanket under your forehead to support you, or if you'd like your forehead up a little higher, you can bring the bolster right there. Feeling your chest here as it rises and falls. Then gently lifting your heart. Keeping our legs in this similar position, bring your hands behind your heels. Then we'll come to an ankle stretch. So pressing into the tops of your feet. You might even be able to lift your knees off the mat here. Pressing back just as far as feels good. Nice little counter stretch on our ankles here. Just about 3 rounds of breath. Always welcome to come out of it before if this feels bad, causes any zinging or pinching, or you've got any metal in your joints. Just taking care of yourself here. Then gently rocking yourself forward once more. Make our way towards our back body. Once again, I'm using that blanket as my pillow. Settling down here. Now we'll come into happy baby. Knees hug into chest. Soles of the feet extend towards the sky. Then grabbing the outside edges of your feet, maybe your heels or the backs of your thighs. Now, if this shape doesn't feel good, isn't accessible, You're always welcome to take a reclined butterfly or bound ankle pose. So soles of the feet pressed together. Hands can rest on belly here. Getting that same hip opening. Just finding the shape that feels good for you. Adjusting as you need to. Then settling in. Give yourself 5 more rounds of breath in whichever shape you're in. You can use your next round of breath to hug both knees in towards your chest. Then taking a 3-part breath. Inhale, fill the belly, heart space, all the way up to the top of your throat. Exhale, releasing back down, releasing from that heart, the ribs, all the way to your belly. Then soles of the feet can plant to the mat, taking in twisted roots. Legs, we'll start with right leg on top, bending that right knee over left, and then allowing the knees to fall towards the left side of the mat. You might bring that bolster or that pillow under your knees here, bringing the ground a little closer to you. Arms can come out to a T or cactus shape. Gaze can drift over the right shoulder, but if that doesn't feel good in your neck, it can be up towards the sky. Allow the eyes to soften or close. Make any adjustments here as you need to. Then settling in. Bringing awareness back to your breath. Gently untwist, starting with bringing your neck, looking back up at the sky, knees point towards the sky. Give yourself just a full round of breath here. Then moving any props you might need to the other side. This time left leg crosses over right. Shifting the hips a little towards the left and allow the knees to fall towards the right. Gaze can drift over that left shoulder. That doesn't feel good. Bringing the gaze back to center. Allowing the body and mind to settle into stillness here. Noticing your breath. And slowly begin to unwind here. Soles of the feet plant into the mat. And then as we prepare for Shavasana, just doing whatever you need to take care of yourself here. That might mean bringing the bolster under your knees. That can feel good to support your low back. Maybe you rest your blanket on your belly or over your feet. That can feel really nice. Or go all out, covering your whole body with that blanket as you extend into Shavasana. Taking time to settle in. Allowing yourself to get out any last wiggles or movement here. Imagining, is this a wave just like a heavy blanket falling over you, allowing any tension to release. Scanning your low body, where can you release? Scanning your arms, anywhere where you're still holding tension. Allowing your body to be heavy here. Allow your body to take up space here. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you're welcome to stay in this place of rest. If it's time to close out your practice, you might start by deepening your inhales and exhales, noticing that rise and fall in your chest. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes. A nice good morning stretch, fingertips overhead, toes opposite direction. And when you're ready, gently guiding yourself to a fetal position on whichever side feels best for you, before slowly pressing yourself back up to a comfortable, easy seat. Pausing in these last few moments of class, feeling some gratitude for showing up today, honoring your body with some deep stretching and some rest. We'll close with a collective round of breath. Can exhale to prepare. Inhale, reach your fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for being part of this rad community, and I hope you have a beautiful day.